Hello everybody to this fine Thursday. It's actually sunny today. Let's push weather for you. It'll be raining one day and the next it's not. But sorry for the long start. Usually I'm in here about 5 minutes in, but I had a long shit. It always happens. It comes out of nowhere where I just need to poop and it poops lasts too long. But enough of my bowel movements. Today is an interesting day as well because it has been 1 year since I started. Wow, there goes. So what is good start? My brain just clunking out as usual. Just I've been a VTuber. It's literally there. Fucking. And one of the things I thought I could sleep. Because God damn it, my brain. Well, there's gonna be a lot of this. But yeah, I guess like the only thing I really had planned, because I'm not really good at plans, so I'm not really good at coming up with ideas. My fucking mic fucking won't stay up. Stay! Basically just gonna do a bit of a channel, like talk a little bit, because there's obviously gonna be some people who knew not why I started, and kind of my thoughts of doing it for a year. And I have something else planned, not video game related, because I thought to myself, because when I always look up like videos like how to grow as a blah blah blah, and like almost all of them says, oh, stick to just doing one thing because it's not worth doing it. But then where's the fun in that? That's always my thing. Like yeah, I'm not gonna do this all the time, but like just playing games all the time can get boring, and waiting until that some, because they always say, oh, you should do other stuff after you've reached a certain milestone. Like I know after you reach like over 1,000 followers or something, but that could be forever. I don't want to wait forever ever. So I say, why not just do it now? Fuck the norm and just do something that's a little, you know, different. Not original, mind, but not different either. But I got some G Fuel. One thing I'm going to try and do with a little bit of energy is like try not to drink my G Fuel at once. I take little sips at a time, give me that a little bit of energy boost, and hopefully that might perk me up a bit. Hopefully. I'm starting to wonder if I need to like do detoxing again. Just maybe go the entire month without being caffeinated. Thinking about it at the moment. But then I got a tub of G Fuel, and I don't know if that'd be good idea to leave that sitting there for more than a month, not being used. But I guess fucking hey, I guess I should start with how I got into VTubing. Like VTubing, like I think because I said this when I first started, but I feel like it's important to like do this now because it's a year. There's lots of people who didn't possibly watch that first stream, even though it is archived. Like I said, I always archive the streams because of those reasons, especially if I'm doing like a series of a game, and of course, until you get affiliated, they only stay on here for like 2 weeks. You want to watch the previous, yada. But I, like many people, I was very much brain is flatline aware of VTubers back in like 2016, but it wasn't like someone was going to watch because a lot of them were Japanese only, with in Japanese language. With subtitles, yes, but I've said this before. I have trouble reading and writing stuff, so I tend to watch anime, especially anime dubbed, because it's a lot easier for me, because my eyes can't concentrate on 2 things at once. As much as I try, so obviously I wasn't going to watch it. But it wasn't until because this sort of kind of involves something kind of like a domino effect of stuff happening. So around, I think it was like, because remember there's a point to this and how it came about. Around, I think it was like 2019. I think I was on Reddit. And I saw a comic of basically anime girl versions of web browsers, and I think someone linked it to the actual Twitter account, which was Merryweather. I thought, oh well, I might as well follow the source and get some fun little meme-related comics and other stuff. And I think around that same year or a year after, he announced the YouTube channel was posting on all the comics, and then with I think it was like possibly like June or May. I'll probably have to limit the video around June or May. He released the announcing Lumi, his first VTuber, and I was like, oh, I'm aware of VTubers. Now obviously I didn't watch it immediately because I believe at the time it was like a members like only sort of thing, and I wasn't at the time. So then, but then I think they eventually allowed it to open to everyone around, I think it was like August or something, and I was like, well, fuck, I've got nothing better to do. Let's watch this and see what this is like, and immediately enjoying it. Streaming is something I've always wanted to do, because I've said this before. This is not my first attempt at doing online content. I used to do Let's Play content, which we'll get into a bit. But I always wanted to do streaming, but alongside it, because streaming always seemed like a lot of a fun thing, but there's always that anxiety of doing it. And VTuber looked like a way of dealing with anxiety, but also looked like something that was a little bit more fun, and it generally did look like a lot of fun. But I wasn't entirely sure yet, because I kept going backwards and forwards. Do I want to do this or not? Because I'm already doing Let's Play content. Do I want to do something alongside that as well, with my real face and all? It's just always a way of getting into something that's new and popular if you're already doing something else, because you get there's that fear of the fandom attacking you, accusing you, oh, you're just jumping on the bandwagon. I never am like that. I've always said I will do whatever I think is funny when it comes to fun when it comes to online content, and this seemed like a lot of fun. But I think it was around December of that same year, around 2020, because then eventually Mary did it, and I was watching his. But then he was on a podcast called the Lewdcast, the old Lewdcast, which was Project Melody, Silverveil, and Iron Mouse. And that opened the door to more VTubers. I'd never heard of this podcast, and then more and more and more and more and more, I watched more and more. It's like, you know what? I fucking want to do this. So around, because the idea was originally why I was still doing Let's Play content, because one thing I realized doing Let's Play content is that longer games take longer to complete when you're doing like 30 to like 40-minute videos. Like I remember doing what was it, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and that took me like fucking 4 months to finish, 4 or 5 months doing it as a series. And I realized, well, I should stream longer games. Then I realized, well, how long? Why don't we do both? Why not have normal short games to be Let's Plays and streams to be long games to be streams, and do it like this. So the plan started off with me looking into how to make models, if I could do it myself, of course, because at the time I was still unfortunately unemployed, so money was a little bit limited at the time for me. So I looked into Vroid, and originally that was the old Vroid. And Vroid now is so much easier to use that even if you don't have any level of art skills, which I do not, you could still make some. But at the time, it still wasn't like that. And I had immediately what I wanted to do, because I love foxes. I've always loved foxes. Foxes are my favorite animal. That's why I wanted to be a fox boy. So I can have a bit of G Fuel in my It's good if I don't have hand tracking, because I fiddle with stuff too much. You'd see my hands just touching something, but you can't see what it is. So I'm going to still consider again. Where's the brain going? It went dead again. So then the idea was then so I knew what I wanted. I could see what I wanted. I kept trying to do it. I looked at dozens of videos and I just couldn't do it. Then my brain was like, well, hang on, what if I get an illustration done, like an art done, to give me an idea what to do? And I think I should have it here, which was, where is it? Because I think I weirdly have it. Do I have it here? I think I do. Or do I not? No, I do not. It did. Oh, hang on, no, I'll just get it up. I'm very bad at preparing stuff. I think you could learn that, but no. It should be. Where's my brain going? It's gone dead altogether. Where's there are images? It should be this, right? Huh? Where is it? Why isn't it showing up? Did I put why are you not on the screen? You should be on the screen right now. Well, this is a clusterfuck. You can get the picture up. That'd be swell. It's not showing up. That's weird. It's fun of everything. Oh, I know why it is. It's probably because it's bloody too big, isn't it? Yes, it is. Like, why is it not showing up? Oh, that's why it's not showing up. There we go. That's it. This is the drawing I had done. Because I figured I could use that. It's like as an example, and turns out no, it still didn't actually help. I still couldn't do it. So because I got this art done by because one of the beauty things I've said this before, having a sister who's an artist, she has artist friends, and if you have social anxiety, talking to people, especially online, you could get her to ask someone to do this. This was done by who do actually have credit in the about page. I'm blanking on their name. I think it's August. Charmed. I'm very bad with names, but I mean that's the person who did the illustration because I was using this as a reference because my brain works better of having some because I can never do what I see in my head, and someone's having something as an example makes it helpful. But there's a G feel, and I still couldn't do it. So I asked her because it was like a shot in the dark if she knew anyone who did 3D modeling, because once again money was limited at the time. So I couldn't actually get this 3D models can like go up to like around like 300 to 400 pounds. And not to say you need a 3D model, because one of I've learned, because like I learned, and then she simply asked what my issue was, and I said, well, the problem with the software is you need to have some level of art degree, and I wasn't expecting it to do it. I was going like, if she couldn't do it, then I'll just stick with the maybe look on 5 or something. But then she offered to do it. And it took her a long time because obviously she had a full-time job, and this isn't actually the this is not actually the end result one, because this was a little up-to-date one, which we'll get into that in a bit. But as that was happening, as she decided to do it, and I one way of saying thank you, I did actually treat her to a meal out. She didn't want anything for it, but I had to treat her, say thank you with some way, because my sister didn't have to. She didn't have to do this one, but she did. But as those times were going on, I still continued doing Let's Play content on YouTube. And then one day I just woke up and I just wasn't feeling it anymore. I just was like, man, this isn't fun anymore. Because that's always the thing on online content. Whether it is trying to get to be a job or grow for fame, money, whatever, you still got to enjoy it. I just woke up one day and wasn't enjoying it. And I thought, what's going on? Why don't I feel this? And sometimes it's burnout. It's the worst kind of burnout where you just can't get over it. So I thought to myself, well, let's stop doing Let's Plays for a bit and do this for a month. And surprise, surprise, after a month of doing this, which I started today, and then a month later, I was like, this is way more fun. It's way more fun than doing Let's Play content. So I ended up ending that and then just moving on doing this instead of doing Let's Play content. Because I did Let's Play content for like 7 years up to that point. And I after a year thinking about it, I think I know what kind of led to it. It was a combination of so many things. I mean, one, focusing it too much of being my job, which is why this year I've said at the start of this year I'm trying to focus on just having fun here. Focusing too much and too long of it eventually being a job can draw the fun out of it. But it wasn't just that, it was a combination of having to edit every video, because I wasn't if I was curious, that channel hit around like 300 subscribers on YouTube, which is not a lot. And when you have to edit your own videos, listen to your own annoying ass voice for a very long time, that can get tiring. But then, because the point of like growing on YouTube is that you're always going to get comments of people pretending they like your content and they don't. Not to say I never got real comments, I still got real comments, but when you're putting all that work in, and your only result, especially sent across different social media platforms, which I did, and all you're getting is people going, hey, I checked out your channel, I liked and subscribed, please check out mine. Like, basically bullshit saying, I sucked your dick, you suck mine now. Which is, and when you have to put up that for 7 years, that can also drain the fun out of doing so. When you're just putting all your work in and people just acting like they care when they really, really, really don't. And here I don't get that. Like, I, which is fun, just, and there's no worry of having to stick to specific time, because I have a problem with doing Let's Play content. If you're editing it yourself, you have to stick to specific time per video, because longer video, longer the edits, and people don't usually want to watch two longer videos on YouTube, and that can get tiring because you just want to focus on having playing the game and having fun, but then you're worrying about, oh no, I can't waste too much time because I've got to make sure I end at this point. But like now with this, I can just play the game. I can just have fun and play them. Still decide like what to put in stuff there, and I guess just brain them. It's funny how I prepare in my head what to say, but the mouth won't let me. Like with Metal Gear, like even though we're doing a platinum run of it, I decided not to do the task missions because they're almost all the same all the way through, and that can be boring. Because it's also important to because even though I did 7 years of like YouTube content, I am far from an expert, by the way. I basically was just figuring out as I go, because most how to grow on YouTube, they always regurgitate the same crap. Share and do with social platforms. Make sure you put the right tags and put a good description in. There's all that can drain the fun out of it. So then that's why I just decided, you know what, fuck it, let's do this instead. Let's do something that's fun. And unfortunately, no, which was a worrying thing to do, because when you spend 7 years doing something, you have like, because at the time when I did a video of like ending that channel, was like, should I? But then I was like, no, because there's at least a 1% who would want to know. Which is 1% is better than no percent, but there was still that worry of like, because you know what can be like when you follow the creator for a long time and they jump into something else, you can feel like they're just jumping on a bandwagon, or they're not going to be the same anymore. You worry about getting backlash, but I didn't get any backlash from it, thankfully. But that since no one from that channel, as far as I can tell, jumped over from there. But yeah. But then here's the funny part about me, how stupid I am. I didn't realize I could have used this drawing here. That's what I did when I started. I just used this in the corner, which I always feel, I hate the bullshit when people say, "Oh, a PMG isn't a real VTuber." Do you know what V in the tuber stands for? Virtual, meaning something that is through the interweb, something that you can't tangibly touch. Can you tangibly touch this? Can you touch this with your bare hands? No, then it's still a VTuber. Now, I've seen, sometimes every so often, I do look at the VTuber tag on Twitter just to see, like, because it's always fun. That's the fun part I like about VTuber, is seeing all the different models, seeing what people come up with, what they decide to choose to have. And I see some people put like tag PMG tuber, which is still that stigma, that you're not a real VTuber. No, if it's virtual, it's still on the internet, it's still something there you can't touch, and it's still a VTuber. It still counts. Where's my brain going? I finished all my G Fuel now. There's so many brain farts happening, but what else am I gonna go with? But yeah, that was a kind of, and then. I mean, I think the fun grew more and more because a year out, like I said, I've not dealt with any of the bullshit I have to deal with YouTube. Because, like, actually, I think I can use like kind of an example of this because, hang on, because I was on about the comments. Because when I ended the old YouTube channel, there was a comment that just made me realize even more. Because after a year, would you think? Some people think, well, would I ever want to go back? And the answer is no, because I won't bring the comment actually up on screen because I don't want to like, you know, blast someone out and. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. This is an example of why I kind of like hate this kind of mentality on YouTube. There's always people who will read the title of a video and put their comment based on that, because the channel, the video I used for ending the old YouTube channel was the end of this channel, because that was what it was, and like. It was like a couple of months after to get this comment saying, "Keep going and don't give up, man." They clearly just read the title and didn't watch the video, because if they watched the video, they know it was me ending but moving on to something else. And I thought, fuck it, let's reply to that and say, but I haven't. I just moved on to something else that's more fun. And there's like, oh, nice. But then they followed up a comment saying, "If you haven't subscribed to blank channel, it's always open to you. I'm a loyal fan. Support loyal fan." The name here, I've never even seen them before. And it's just like, it was clearly someone just scanning through for small YouTubers, and then like, I know, I will put some quote-unquote motivational comment and then go, hey, check out. It's just like, imagine putting that for like 7 years on either on YouTube or any other social platforms where people just pretending they actually care when really they don't. And then sub for sub is still a thing, because like I have an archive, that still blows my mind. That's still a thing, because sub for sub, follow for follow, whatever it is, does not help you in the long run. You're not gonna get. That's another thing I learned from doing 7 years of YouTube. It's like, that shit does not help your channel. You're not gonna get proper active where's that brain going? Viewers. It's just not worth it. But random side up, because I do have, I've finished this before. I've got an archive channel on YouTube where I archive all the streams. One of the streams actually got a comment saying sub for sub, and I was like, I'm not gonna even bother replying to this. I'm just gonna ignore it because it's pointless repeating myself. Because that's the thing. Anytime someone did, I wasn't gonna be rude to them. I'll just say, sorry, don't do sub for sub, and that can get annoying over and over and over and over again. But I was back to model. So basically, after that, I just ended up using this several months, having a lot of fun. Because one thing that shocked me the most when I first started it, because the very first game I played was Resident Evil Village. It was just at the time I hadn't played it yet, and I was like, well, let's do this for a stream, I guess. Because when I did YouTube, I usually don't try and worry about views, but it still was an example. On average, when I did Let's Play content, a video will get maybe 1 to 2 views, if I was lucky. I'm sure if you went to it now, there would be more views in some videos, but that's happened over time. When I ended the stream, the first stream, it was like 8 or 10. I was like, wait, what? I mean, I was playing a popular game, so I wasn't expecting that. Now, yes, quite, that wasn't at once. That was throughout the stream, people coming in and out. But that's still a lot more. And even today, I still see, like, I'll end the stream, it's like 14 people showed up. I was like, wait, what? 20? 30? I was like, what? I mean, even if people just drop in for a little bit, that's still like, someone saw the thumbnail, saw the title, went, oh, you know, I'll click on and see what this weird fox boy is about. But yeah, but back to the model. But then my sister was making. It's so funny because when she finished, I think I have the original look. There wasn't really much change. Let's see. Because this was the original one she finished off with. It was so funny because when she finished this, she literally a week later they announced the 1.0 version of it, and I was just like, oh, my poor sister. That's why I haven't really updated it, because she'd have to redo the entire hair and everything, and I'd hate to ask her to take up her own free time to do it again. But that was but the only tweak I did was this, which was from that, which all I did was just change the eyes and the mouth and head bit with the stuff they have. That's always the fun. I was literally about to close the software when I meant to do that. What I always think is cool about VTuber now, there's so much tools and stuff to make it free. The only one thing my sister didn't do was the tail. If you ever see my tail pop up, that she had trouble with that and went to Booth. That's another example. Booth is like a good place to get my brain working, to get free assets and stuff. But one thing I do want to do, that now that I finally got a part-time job, is actually get a model that is more closer to this artwork. The artist who did this actually recently, towards the end of it was either this start of this year or the end of last year, actually started getting into it always funny thing, you always see that with artists on Twitter. Eventually they go down the VTuber brain rabbit hole, and they've started doing their own live 2D models, but I don't know if they're doing any commissioned stuff. And I feel bad asking, because that's the worst thing you can think of. When you're an artist, you just started doing something you've never done before, and you see so many people like what you did, and like, oh, are you doing commissions? Are you doing commissions? That, but I haven't decided like if I want to do if I want 3D or live 2D, because I need to like look through, see what the rough estimates of it. Because there's one of those things. If I do go for 3D, I think I'd probably have to get the artist again to do this, but do because I always see it with big VTubers. They always have reference sheets where have different angles and different sizes. Because I do want something that's more closer to what this looks like. Like I said, this was my sister's like first attempt, so for her first attempt, this was actually pretty damn good. But I do want something that is more closer to this entire design because I just love this. Because the idea of the design was that if you question about the outfit was I've said this before, like when it comes to genres in general, my two biggest favorites, not to say I don't like any other, like when this comes to movies, video games, TV shows, is fantasy and sci-fi, and I wanted a fantasy looking outfit. And I said this before, but I gave like vague instructions to the artist, which was, well, actually, when it came back and they said just fantasy, then they went with different genres, different types of character types, which was like adventure, rogue, mage, all that stuff. I went, traditionally, if I was ever playing video games, I'd always be a mage, but because the idea at the start was for me to do it myself, I wanted the outfit to be as simple as possible and easy enough for me to do. So I went with an adventure type. Who knows, maybe near down the future, maybe I might have different outfits related to those. And that was it. And then the color scheme was blue and red because blue and red are my favorite colors. Yes, I'm awkward. I have to have like two colors rather than just one. I can never choose between the two. And when it came back to it, it was like there was nothing I needed changing. It was like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted. This is just like they peered into my brain and saw exactly what I wanted. But as far as like getting a new model, that's much later down mine. Later down the line, because although I do now have a part-time job, most of mine is go for quote-unquote important things that I've been meaning to want to get. Starting off with like a proper nice comfy chair, which I've already got, which I'm sitting on there, which is a secret lounge chair, new monitor, so I can finally have my PS5 upstairs. Because that took me like a year to save up, by the way. That's the beautiful thing of having like a part-time job finally. Not to go too much in the employment way, but obviously one of the main reasons is because of COVID. My phone was ringing a minute ago. I guess I was managing things. But obviously things are getting a little bit better at that, so getting a job was a lot easier. But now, instead of stuff like that might take a year, or take like maybe a couple of months. But like I said, I need to look into it, and because it's not an important thing. The model I have is really good. There's no reason for me to immediately rush out and get one, and there's still other stuff that I want to sort out before then. So it could be a couple of months down the line, because I still don't know where to look for like 3D model artists. Still go for Fiverr. I've had thought of the idea of just twigging it out, putting the hashtags, and see who pops up with just this in general. Because I don't know if I would need a reference sheet of different angles. So if I can like find someone, if this is enough for them to go on, then yeah. But if not, because sometimes they do need reference sheets. And then when looking into models, you have to look in: are they going to rig it or just make the model? Then you might have to find someone to do the model, but then do the rigging as well. It's also those cases, and I really actually do want to get hand tracking at some point as well before getting a new model, because when you get a new model, you want to show off all the different parts of it and movements, and it'd be good to have some tracking to do so. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that my brain is not letting it to think. Like I said, I had the points that I wanted to go through, and now I've gone out. I should have written them down, but I was like, nah, I'll be fine. I can easily remember it. When will I fucking learn? But yeah, it was because it's always the thing of jumping onto something new. You never know if you're going to enjoy it or not. And if I could give anyone advice starting off from streaming or anything, start off simple and cheap. Don't feel like not super cheap. When it comes to my coins, don't obviously go too cheap, because the amount of times I've gone to like a small VTuber and they have like a really good, well-made model that looked like it was like maybe like £100 or £200, but then the mic quality is absolute garbage. Because I think there's this mentality that to grow you need to have like a really cool, detailed model, whereas people won't follow you. but yeah, I think like and then I think when you get into it, like after a month or two, that's when I think you should be laying down more money to, if you can, obviously, if you can. Because what was the old term I always heard? You can never polish a turd. There's no point of putting loads of high tech and fancy stuff if you're not good at it. You're not good at stuff. No, it wasn't. I remember like years ago, PewDiePie made a joke about this. Was like, if something along the lines, he said, it's funny when people always get expensive equipment and then they're like, why am I not famous yet? Thinking that higher quality equipment means equal popularity, which is not very true, because if you look back when a lot of streamers, YouTubers, VTubers start, they did not start off with like the best looking models ever, or best equipment. I think another thing I've got to try myself is try not to. Another thing I've got so many bad habits from being a YouTuber that I need to still try and break. Getting there and breaking them, but is trying not measure success as someone else. Yes, I'm a year out and I'm only at not even almost 40 followers. Well, you break it up. Well, this VTuber was at this point at this amount, which is not necessarily true. If I remember correctly, Iron Mouse didn't really start like picking up until she started like 2018, wasn't it? And she didn't really start picking up until like 2020, so like 2 years into it. This is why like I just realized, oh yeah, the stream goes up the top there. That's why stream goes just 50, because like once I hit 50, I'm not gonna put a new one, because if I can just at least hit 50, that's fine by me. Focusing way too much on hitting like a high amount, because I feel like I can. That's another thing why I've been so glad about this, like the growth. Because when I first started doing YouTube back in like 2014, I hit like, I think it was like 30 subscribers in that year, but then it took like years before I even reached 100. The fact that we're a year in and we're almost at 50 is not too bad. But yes, like I said, I'm not going to focus too much on that, and I'm not going to worry too much about doing, as long as I don't do too much off stuff. And another thing was a bad habit from doing YouTube content was constantly having to finish series after, doing a series of games and constantly doing one after another. And I think that mentality unfortunately came to, also putting up with like Metal Gear. So like, we're doing the Platinum run for Metal Gear. I did do a Let's Play. I did, back when Metal Gear Solid 5 came out, I did do like a Let's Play of that game. But what I did, because I never played the Metal Gear games, I played through all of them leading up to Metal Gear Solid 5. All of the ones that mattered. So I'm fiddling with my arms. These arms on the Secret Lab chairs are removable, and I can't help but not fiddle with stuff. I don't know if it's some form of like, I don't know, it's not ADHD. One thing I do know, one thing I rarely bring up, because it's, I saw someone like a clip from, speaking of Iron Mouse, where she doesn't want to bring up too much about her illness, because she wants it to be like just hey, let's come hang out and do stuff. Don't worry, I don't have like any illnesses. I do have disabilities. It's just I don't want to bring them up too much, because it's like it can be a bit of a, well, people can treat you differently once they know certain stuff. All I know, and all I've known for the many years, is that I have learning difficulties. Was it learning disabilities, which usually pertains to reading or writing, or having trouble understanding stuff sometimes. As I said before, the reason I do videos for like walkthroughs is because no matter how times I try and read stuff, my brain just can't like process that information, and it can visual aids work better with me. But like I said, I have a habit of fiddling with stuff, and I don't know if that's linked to some. Because as the years have gone along, I have those small stuff about myself. Like, this can't be just... it might just be anxiety stuff, because people with anxiety do tend to fiddle with stuff like way of like relaxing their minds. Because that's the kind of thing why I wanted to do. Like I said, VTuber was kind of like a way of like getting over that anxiety. Because I did stream on YouTube at one point. And I streamed for like only an hour each time, because it was just so stressful. It's one of those things, like doing recorded content versus live content has a different vibe to it, because when you're recording something, you still feel like you're on your own in the room. But when it's live, it doesn't feel like that. even if there's one person or two people there. The best analogy I always think for people streaming, it's like if you're doing stand-up comedy, you start in a room that is empty, and at any point, mid joke, someone could walk in and sit down, and you don't know what they're gonna say or do. That's the same thing with this. You could be mid doing something in a game, and someone could drop in at any moment, and there's that fear of like, what's their reaction to it? Well, they're gonna hate me, they're gonna like me, and it's one of the reasons why VTuber seems so appealing, because it helps. It works. The best way I can put, I can't say this for every VTuber, but it helps us kind of like a safety net. It makes it, because it feels like they're not staring directly at you. Yes, no, you could argue why not just not have a webcam then, because then I don't like to just have a disembodied voice. Having something there to animate and move around to reactions and stuff is also handy to have as well. So having a nice little VTuber model adds to that, and also it's like I said, it's a lot of fun. Like the excitement of getting new models and new designs and them changing over time. I love that there's some weird subject on there. I love that some are going really high fantasy, because I love when I say I love fantasy, I mean like high fantasy. I mean like medieval shit, swords and shields and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, I like the different branch off things from fantasy, because both fantasy and sci-fi is such a broad term. When I say sci-fi, I mean like intergalactic space travel, far from future stuff. Like I said, not to say I don't like the small indie parts about it, but those are the height of stuff I love. Because I just love, what's it like? Snuffy's new design has that kind of look. Even Vase does. Has that like very high fantasy look. Just maybe someday I could, maybe someday have something more like that. Okay? But I thought like, this is like, probably could be years from now, of having like both sci-fi and a fantasy outfit. Just outfits. Because like I said, this design here, the head part of this, it's exactly what I like. I just like it. Just this style in general is just good, and I hope to have something that is more closer to this. Like I said, I don't know if I do live 2D or 3D. I have to look into, because the problem with like live 2D, you can get people just take the art of something you've done and do it, but I believe you need to have the mouth to be closed for it to work. I'm not entirely sure about that. Where's that brand one going? I don't know. I'm gonna stick the other me here, maybe behind the table. He's gonna go behind the table and behind the table. There we'll be there. Don't talk to me or my son ever again. It's like a big for this. But yeah, and it's been fun. Like I haven't had the. I mean, not to say I've never had those thoughts. Because one of the intrusive thoughts, like I said the other day, that gets in my head, because when it gets closer to my birthday, I keep going in my head of, I'm 31 next month. From tomorrow, it'll be a month to my birthday, and my brain is just going through, what have you done with your life? You're never gonna. There's stupid thoughts of, you're never going to succeed at anything. Why should you bother trying? You're just nothing but a failure. And I've been trying my best not to let those dwell on me too much, and just, so what? If at the end of the day, if by next year, is this not my job? So what? I've got a part-time job. I'm not struggling for money. I've got a house to live in with family, and because that's the thing with the mentality of online content. Over the years, the mentality is to be a job and not just have fun and make content. And there's so many ways people will just try and focus too much on that and just having fun. Like, one thing I've come to a realization, yes, it would be cool. I won't deny it. It'd be nice to have this as a job. But if I can get to the point where I have like maybe 5 people, 6 people, maybe 10 people every time I go live, and have a good handful of people, regulars in chat as well, that'd be fine. That to me mean I made it. Yes, it'd be cool to have it as a job and earn money off of it, but at the same time, do I have? Not every hobby should always lead to a job, because my sister's also an artist, and one day I asked her why didn't she do commissions, do illustrations for stuff, and she said because it wouldn't be fun anymore. Because that's always the thing about chasing something for a dream. It can be good, but you got to ask yourself this: would you actually enjoy as a job? Because when it's your job, you have to constantly worry about having to pay bills, making sure that yes, having fun, but doing stuff that's going to guarantee you, you know, money at the end of the day, that you're not struggling to earn a living. But yeah, and I feel like at least by next year, I could see myself being at maybe like close to 50, close to 100 followers, and that would be fine. Like, there's because I was thinking like people do tend to measure success over numbers. I remember like was like a couple of months ago now with Buff Puff. If no one doesn't know who, I always wonder how much people follow me on here. Also, VTuber fans, but Buff Puff is basically a buff that's buff, and she tweeted something out a while ago of she was at 30k followers at the time. I think she's a lot higher than it now. It was like a long thing where someone didn't think she was successful, didn't think 30 was successful, and said that if she wanted to be successful, she had to basically be all ooh, you know, all like cutesy voices and something like that to be successful. Yet that she was at the time at 30 kids. That's decent size of people, but the fact that that person didn't see that as a good success, and that's always the problem of trying to measure success by numbers. Is always a bad thing because it's always never going to be enough, and it should be based on if you're having fun, if you've got an audience, people who constantly come in to watch. That is success to me, whether you're doing a job or not, as long as you've got people coming. Because I'm not sure if I dived even further down the VTuber rabbit hole, I'm sure I could find streamers that where it's just a side job for them, where they are a VTuber but they have a main job they do all the time. Like once again, my sister's the only example I have because I don't have any friends. She does art as a side thing. It's a little fun thing, but she has a job, a full-time job that she enjoys doing, and that's her job, which is something different from art. Because my brain went dead. Because I know a lot of these anniversaries, usually most VTubers have like big plans in the future. I don't, because I don't expect them to happen. It's not necessarily being negative, it's just being realistic and not worrying too much about success. Like I said, maybe lay down the line a better a model that is more closer to the art that's sitting next to me would be nice. And I don't think I'll need this. That's why I need to like. The point is, the reason I haven't looked into stuff like this is because of the main thing I need to try and fix is my sleep. It's weird. I don't actually have a bad sleep schedule. I do tend to go to bed around 9. And unfortunately, I don't tend to fall asleep until 12. But what's been happening on a regular basis, at first I thought I broke it, is I keep waking up around 3 to pee. Can't really control that, but then for some ungodly known reason, I can't go back to sleep. And it's not necessarily bad, intrusive thoughts, it's just I can't switch back off for some reason. I gotta try and figure out this. Like I said, that's why the caffeine thing is again, because I did try and take a week off not drinking caffeine, but maybe I might take a month of not drinking anything caffeinated. But I'll see how the rest of the week goes. Maybe next week or the week after, I'll see how it is, or the rest of this month. But yeah, I'm trying to think because I don't want to end the stream and realize, oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that as well and this. So I'm trying to think for a second. I mean, that's one very. I still am trying to get past the mentality of wasting time because remember because it's always about editing and stuff. I should if I need to get my thoughts together, it shouldn't hurt to just pause for a second and try and think. I should stop fiddling with the arms. They also rotate. You can't see it, and I want to describe something you cannot see. You can hear. Snap. This is the kind of stuff I want to try and do more with. Is not be afraid just to mess about for a bit, because the idea is usually for me to stream for at least 3 hours. I wish I could go long, because the original reason I couldn't go longer is because my old chair would make my ass sore for like after 3 hours. But because I now have a job, that kind of comes first, and I need to make sure I'm ready and out the door beforehand. So the latest I can go is at least 3:30, because I gotta have something to eat, then get ready, and then go. I mean, I should try and do it on Saturdays, because Saturday I wasn't at work. Okay, I should stop thinking about this now, otherwise we're not going to get anywhere here. But figure out forcing him to do series, especially if the point of like forcing yourself to do series again is because you might get to a point where you're not in the mood. Because, like I said, for the last couple of months, I was been playing, switching between The Witcher and Mass Effect. We did Mass Effect 1, then The Witcher, and then The Witcher, then Mass Effect 2, then The Witcher 2, and I think I kind of burned myself out doing that a bit. So I was going to take a break and wait until I'm in the mood to do Mass Effect 3 and The Witcher 3. Because at the end of the day, their sequels are far, far, far way out. But actually, it's an interesting like side note on that. Apparently, the next Mass Effect game will still have Shepard in it. Like somehow he survives or something. Because I can't remember if there was an ending where he did survive or not. Because I'm pretty sure every ending results in him kind of dying. Well, we'll find that out when we get to it. Because those are both long games. And especially with Mass Effect 3, I never played its DLC. I think it's because I never got around to it. Because RPGs, DLCs tend to be quite long. I mean, look at The Witcher 3's DLC. Apparently its DLC is a game in itself. Yeah. Completely and utterly blank already. Because there's lots of stuff I do want to sort out. Because like I really need to like make a Discord server. But I once again because when I'm tired I can barely focus on anything properly. So it's trying to find days where I don't feel like like I could drop dead at any moment. You know, I can make a weird sound. Like that, and one just dropped into me making a weird sound. My brain. I don't know if it is lack of sleep or insomnia, what it is, or if it's just getting old. I don't understand why people act like 30 is old. 30 is not that old. 50 is. No offense to anyone who's 50, but that's like half a century. Half a century's passed since you were born. 50 years is not. 30 isn't. Here goes the brain of mine. There's other stuff I do want to sort out, like emotes is one of those fun things. They look so. There's something about emotes I just love the look of them. But that's something to sort out once if they get close to being affiliated, which is another thing I can't see happening anytime soon. And like I said, I'm going to try and worry about that because apparently you need 50 followers, which we're close to that, but you need like 3 on average viewership, which doesn't really happen that much, but my brain. But I think like with games, I think what I'm going to be doing for now is doing like smaller games on throughout the week. I mean, technically we are doing a long game, but the interesting thing with Mass Effect, I find the game's name now. Metal Gear 5, MGS5. Is that those open world? But because we're doing mission select, it feels like it's just more like a linear game. One thing I realized doing those missions is it shows how much they reuse the same areas, but you just start from a different angle. Yeah. I do miss the simpler times where open world games were more like that. Now they have to be over bloated with tons of stuff, unnecessary stuff done. I am going to do that. I had an idea of doing something after this, but I don't know if I have the energy. I thought I said because what happened? It happened like that. It happened again last night where I woke up around 3 and I didn't fall asleep until like 6. But I thought, you know what, I'll try and lie until at least around 9. Because that might give me a bit more energy, but obviously it hasn't. It's always that debate. The point is I'm always an early riser. I can't lie in. The longest I've ever lied in is like 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. As long as, and that's very rare. It's just my, I think it's because my brain thinks you just get up and do shit. There's stuff you need to do. It's not important, but you need to do it. You need to get enough time to do it. And that might be the case of it, because that's why I don't do like late streams. Because I'm sure some people think, well, if I work in the afternoons, why not stream after work right into the night? Well, one, that's not fair on everyone else who live in the house, because they tend to go to bed around like 9 or 10. Last thing they want to do is, because the walls in this house are fucking thin. You can literally hear someone having sex in the other room. Or in my case, me jerking off. That's why I always make sure no one's in the house when I have my JO session. I'm fiddling with stuff now. I've got my sunglasses in my hands, so I'm fiddling with them. So I can't really do that as far as like longer streams. But this is still good. Like, because I know some people probably can't catch these when they happen because this is during the daytime. But I also appreciate anyone who does watch this afterwards. I was trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to talk. Because I think the other thing I could do, maybe like a little bit of the idea I had to do once I got all the thoughts and points out of my head. But I think yeah, no, I'm gone. Well, I mean, the year that this happened has been a fun year, and who knows what the next year is going to hold. Like I said, you never say never. Like I said, this could be a proper thing by next year. It might not be, but like I said, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to. Not to say I don't want to grow. I obviously do want to grow, but I'm not going to worry. Try my best not to worry too much about it and just focus on having fun. Like I said, at the end of the day, if I could get to 50 followers and have a decent amount of people, like 4 or 5, 10 people here every time I'm live, that would be fine by me. If it would be whether or not it's going to be a job, it's really hard to say, right? Because a lot can happen in sort of amount of time, or a lot of things can take a lot of time. Like I said, I used Iron Mouse as an example. She didn't really grow until 2 years into doing it. So that could happen as well. You shouldn't really measure your success with how everyone else is. Everyone, because I feel like when it comes to online content in general, not just like Twitch or YouTube, it is generally. Oh, hang on, someone's scratching at my door. Okay. I said this before. I don't know if that ever gets picked up on the mic, but my other cat, Rusty, I'll say mine. It's a family cat. Always has to make a noise when she enters a room. She goes, "Arr!" Don't you? You're a very vocal cat, aren't you? She's on the window. She's near the window now. Where's that thought going? Fuck! I lost my train of thought because they're scratching the door. Oh yeah, that you try all the methods you want to help grow a channel, but it generally, I mean, even something. I can't go see these. Oh, that's a good sneeze. Oh, I love a good sneeze. Once I actually sneezed, I definitely been even seeing the big YouTubers say, like Jacksepticeye saying this, that it's luck. It's the right kind of people coming along, and thinking about that. That's why I should try worrying too much on trying to grow. Not saying that I shouldn't put no effort into it, but putting too much and expecting higher results is always a bad mentality to get into. It's always focused and having fun. And yeah, I think my brain is it's there, it's staying in, but it's not. It's not. Fucking hey, my brain. I do apologize. Like it's just getting more deteriorated. One of these days, I could do a stream and not feel like I could stop stuttering. It's so funny when I think about being tired. Some streamers talk about being tired, but they don't seem tired. They seem to manage to get concise thoughts out. Oh, are we back? Are we good? Are we gone? Are we good? Are we not? Okay, are we back? Well, that happened. Can't go an entire week without something fucking up. God damn it. I don't think I have any other thoughts. I was doing so well, and then it just had to crap out on me in the worst possible way. Oh, no, god damn it! That's good. We're good. Or is it gonna crap out on me again? I don't want to start talking properly in case it goes again. Are we good? Are we not? Is it fine now? I think maybe. No, there it goes again. God damn it! Now it's back again. Come on, don't be a dick. Internet connection. I'm deciding what to do now. Because I guess I should just say what the other idea is. Because I think I generally got my thoughts across. So everyone's joined now. It may say 2 minutes, but I've actually been streaming for about an hour now. And out of nowhere, the connection on my internet started to go bloop and disappear completely. And the idea I was going to do after I finished talking, it was not necessarily original idea, was watch TikToks. Because I realized I recently got, well, a couple of months ago, I got into TikToks, watching them. And I've got a lot of liked videos, and I don't remember most of them, so it could be fun to do a little reaction content. But I'm worried the internet is not going to last long enough for me to do that. So I think what I might do is get it set up and give it a couple more minutes. If it cuts out again, then we'll just have to oh, we're out. There we go. Yeah, never mind. Because I could do the usual method. Let's keep going. Because maybe it might hold. I've already done the method I usually do, which is usually to disconnect and reconnect the internet. I've said this a billion times at this point. It is not my computer or my internet connection. I have a really good computer and we have a really good internet connection. It works fantastically with everything else, but apparently Windows 11 sucks fucking dick horses and will fuck everything up for some people, but for me, it has to be my goddamn connection every time I'm goddamn streaming. Like, it doesn't happen when I'm watching other stuff. It doesn't happen when I'm doing this, that. It's like, nah, bruh, we're gonna fuck you over when you're doing something, the most important thing. But it seems that it might have actually hold it. Maybe. One of the things I just, because this is the thing where you. thank God. I think I mean this. I think everything's fine now. I don't know what happened. That is the worst it's ever got, where it was just disconnected, reconnecting, disconnecting, reconnecting, disconnecting, and reconnecting way too many times. So at first I thought maybe there's someone in the area, but I checked my phone and it's still connected. So I have no fucking clue what happened there. Now apparently it still says maybe I should still deal with what I was planning to do after this. After this little discussion thing. But I don't know if I want to take that gamble again. Wanted to celebrate the year of doing being a VTuber by doing a bit of little talking about it, and then watching some TikToks for the first time on stream. And yet my internet connection decides to fuck me over. Well, not my connection, fucking Windows 11, as I said before. My internet is very good, and always the best way of me knowing for certain if it is that is checking my phone, because if it is the internet, it would affect other devices as well, not just my computer. So yeah, rather than take the gamble and assume it's going to be fine, I don't like doing streams these short. I don't think I don't think I'm going to take the gamble. As much as I'd like to do something different for a change, I'd rather not take that gamble. I'd rather than assume everything's going to be nice and good, I think I'll just end it now. I don't usually like doing streams this short, because like I said, 2 hours is always a good length for a stream. I can see it going. Yeah, okay. I guess I'll try and wrap this up as quickly, because I just saw it blip a bit. Yeah, so rather than take the gamble of it just dropping altogether, I think it would be best just to end it now here. Now, sorry for anyone who's just joining, because I've spent literally 20 minutes trying to. It's going again. God damn it! Let me outro. Okay, I'm going to outro. I'm going to go waste no time, because it's going. It is literally just. It's just going to crap out. Final closing thoughts. I enjoyed doing this. Gonna spend here's to another year of doing this, and we'll see how things go. But like I said, focus on having fun. Not gonna try not worry too much about it possibly being my job, and just focus on having fun and do whatever I think is fun, whether it be playing video games or, as I was planning to do today, is watching TikToks, because reaction content is fun to me. Because I don't know if my internet's gonna hold long enough. I don't want to be mid watching something and it cuts out on me. But I appreciate everyone who stopped by, and I hope you have a good rest of your day or evening. I hope my internet doesn't fuck me over the rest of the day. And tomorrow we'll probably play some video games. I think we're playing the Duke Nukem 3D. I think it's like the anniversary edition, so I will see you tomorrow for that. But yeah, fuck Windows 11. That's all I can say. Is fuck Windows 11, because it's the thing that's fucking me over here. It's not my internet. Before I upgraded to Windows 11, everything was fine and good, and then Windows 11 has to fuck me over. I know some people will say, well, I just downgrade back to Windows 10 then. It's one of those things, I'm this far into it, and if I'm just patient enough, there'll eventually be enough updates, and all the irons will be pushed out or whatever, and it'll be most likely fine. Because yesterday we had none. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.